is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. After serving as the head coach for our 11-member World Indoor Track and Field team in Poland, Rupert Gardner is now back home, and he spoke about the performance of Team Bahamas.
The Poland trip was a great experience for me because that was the first time I coached a team indoors, and see the performance of the Bahamas team, especially Chris Brown at the age of 35, set a personal best. We teased Chris that he got the world record right now for that age group, 45-52. And Sean A, the youngest one on the team, who got the bronze medal. The team competed well, and I know the Bahamas are proud of the team, what they have done.
Now, B3A's president Mike Sands was also in Poland at the World Indoor Championships. He assisted the team as much as he could, but the main purpose of his trip focused on the upcoming IAAF World Relays, which will take place right here at home in May.
The IAAF has done a number of site visits, and around this time it was also scheduled for a site visit, but it was conflicting to an extent with the World Indoor Championships, and so their suggestion was that we should come to the World Championships, which we did, and we can have the meeting while we were there. And so it didn't take away anything. As a matter of fact, it became very, very effective for us to do it that way, because we were able to also observe, and myself, Mr. Parker, and Grafton, we were given special passes to go behind the scenes, and we were able to observe all facets of the championship. Notwithstanding that's an indoor championship, the principle and the format is still basically the same. The transportation, the accommodations, the accreditation, the operations of the meet, the host broadcasting, the television broadcasting, and so we were able to see all areas of it behind the scenes. And so at the end of the day, we are now able, notwithstanding that we also have a event consultant, we are now able to come back with a better appreciation, understanding of what needs to happen, and we recognize or see where our weak points may be, and we'll find a way to ensure that we strengthen those points.
Now, in order to pull off a top-tier event such as the World Relays, the venue is going to play a big role, and our Kelsey Johnson stopped by the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium earlier today to get an update on the work being done.
It may look like regular paving, the laying of tar on the ground to many who visit the National Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, but for the National Sports Authority officials, the placing of the asphalt signifies a huge step in the completion process, all in preparation for the hosting of the IAAF Bahamas World Relays 2014.
The asphalt process signifies almost a non-stop to the completion, and so we're very happy about what's happening today. As you can see, the long jump pits have been paved, the D-rings are being paved, and in the next day or so we'll begin paving the actual track itself, and then it'll be left to cure in time, ready for the laying of the Mondo surface.
The Mondo products will be in town on Friday. It will take about 30 days for the asphalt to cure. Once that process is completed and tested, it will take another 10 to 15 days to lay the Mondo. Beckles said they are well within the time frame of completion and reassures all Bahamians that the track will be ready for the hosting of the high school relays, which is being used as a test ahead of the hosting of the May 24th through 25th Bahamas World Relays.
The line marking is always the very last part of the exercise, and so once the Mondo is laid and the various tests are done to ensure that the product is adhering properly, then the line markers come in, do their marking, and then the certification team comes in to certify it as a Class 1.
Work on the stadium started in late December. According to Beckles, a project of this nature has a 4 to 5 month timeline. He said work is non-stop at the stadium and the finished product will make all Bahamians proud.
People have been asking about when we're going to start painting. Well, the painting will be done as the last part of the process. That'll be done in mid to late April, so that there's a freshness about the stadium once we are done with it. So we're very happy about that, and we're excited. And we're going to keep the positive side on this, in that we're making progress toward ensuring that the Bahamas has a great product to present for these World Relays.
Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. Still talking track and field. The Government Secondary School Sports Association hosting its annual championships this week at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The juniors have taken center stage for the past 2 days, and once again it was the CH3's Raptors walking away with the overall title, amassing some 374 points. The AF Adelaide Fighting Tigers second with 317.5. S. McPherson third, 248. Finishing fourth, the T.A. Thompson Scorpions, 247.5. Fifth place went to the L.W. Young Golden Eagles with 164.5. The 8 Joe Nash Lions, they finished sixth with 148. Antal Rogers Timberwolves, they were seventh with 143. The Donald Davis Pitbulls, they rounded out the table in eighth with 96.5 points. The seniors, they take to the track tomorrow, wrap up on Friday. The C.R. Walker Knights are the defending champions. The B3A's National High School Track and Field Championships, those just around the corner, March 20th through the 22nd at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Scotiabank once again the title sponsor, and earlier today they presented the B3A's with a check in the amount of $20,000.
We all know that the Bahamas has a very strong international reputation in athletics. Hence, our commitment aligns perfectly with youth development via sports, thereby allowing us to work together to sustainably invest in the future of the Bahamas. This year, we will again award the Scotiabank Athlete of the Year Award to the most outstanding male and female athletes of the event.
All schools in the country have been invited. We expect a record number of schools to compete this year. As you are quite aware, the year when we don't have Carifta seems to be the most fulfilling year for us and the most competitive year. What happens with that, it allows our athletes to compete at the nationals, pre-qualify, and those who pre-qualify have the opportunity to then return for Carifta trials.
International Women's Day was celebrated on March 8th, and come tomorrow in the House of Assembly, tribute will be paid to former members of our women's national softball team who won the gold medal of the Caribbean Championships in 1977 and the bronze of the World Games in 1981.
There were only 4 countries, the 4 top countries in the world, competing against each other. That was the United States, Canada, the Bahamas, and China. And of course, we, who you could barely see on the map, were standing among the giants. And we came out with a medal, and I'm still convinced today that we were better than the rest. Only America defeated us 3-0. The powerful America could only beat us 3-0. That's how good we were back then. And so I want to take my hat off to all of those women and men who made it possible for us to be able to represent our country back in 77 and 81.
The New Providence Women's Basketball Association got underway with the semifinal rounds last night at the Donald Davis Gym. Up first, the Career Builders Cheetahs jumped out to an early lead on the Super Value Cybot Queens, and despite a sluggish third quarter, the Cheetahs would rebound in the final frame to coast to a 79-67 victory. Felicia Kelly led all scorers in the win with 24 points. Linda Pierre, she added 15 points, while Pamela Bethel and Annie Moultrie, they both finished with 10. Tracy Lewis had a side-high 21 points for the Queens. Janelle Poitier added 13, while DeAndre Cunningham followed with 10. As for last night's feature game, that saw the Bomber G operators holding off the Johnson Truckers 82-76. Game 2 in both series will take place tomorrow night back at the Donald Davis Gym. The 5th annual Phil Smith Primary Boys Basketball Challenge will close out tomorrow at the C.I. Gibson Gym, and organizer Kevin K.J. Johnson explains why tournaments like these are so important.
If you look around the world, even in Germany, you look in Argentina, they start at a very early age. That's why they compete. That's why you have a lot of young, talented players coming from that country going into the NBA, going into college, because they start at a very early age. Once we get the gist of understanding that it's very important to start at this age and teach our kids and play the game the right way, we'll have kids coming out at that early age too, doing extremely well when it comes to the game of basketball.
And that will do it for sports, but don't go anywhere, there's more to come after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.